Good. Am I live? Yes, I am. Hi, everybody. Hello, hello. You know what? I'm actually going to close the door because I have some critters that are roaming around. Oh, that almost sounds bad, doesn't it? I have a dog and a couple cats, so they might be roaming around, and sometimes one likes to be very vocal. Also, I want to try to decrease any of this distracting sounds for today. Anywho, you know what? I should have worn green today because we're still in National Nutrition Month. So March is National Nutrition Month. We just celebrated St. Patty's Day last week and last weekend. So I'm kind of keeping up that green theme for today. And also I'm keeping up the theme for this month, best foods for athletic performance and muscle recovery. Since I did get a lot of inquiries about that you really want to know what foods that you can incorporate to really help your athletic performance, as well as help with your recovery too. So with that in mind, today I'm going to be talking about two other lovely, nutritious foods. It's also National Mocktail Day too, so I'm going to be using one of them in particular, and I have the setup right here for the mocktail, and this is just, I should say, decoration. Anywho, so with that in mind, I'm going to introduce myself. Hello, my name is Drew Mulvey. I'm a certified dietitian nutritionist. I'm a board certified nutrition specialist. I am a certified lead therapist, which is a specific food sensitivity protocol based off of mediator release testing. It's about 92% accurate and specific for those particular food sensitivities. It's very good for any sort of inflammatory issues that may be going on, autoimmune conditions, and particularly athletic performance as well. I am a precision nutrition level 1 coach, which is more holistic sports nutrition, and I am a candidate for the certificate in integrative and functional sports nutrition through the Center of Integrative Sports Nutrition over in the UK, which I have been learning a lot and applying a lot. And this is going to be a significant addition to my practice, which I'm really, really excited to bring to all of you athletes out there. So with that in mind, today we are going to be adding to our list of foods that are beneficial for athletic performance and muscle recovery. For those of you who have not clicked on that link, I have provided a link for a freebie. So if you have not also signed up for my newsletter, that link for the freebie will be in the recap on Monday. So please make sure you go to redeeminglifenutrition.com, and that will automatically sign you up for that newsletter. So you'll be able to get it. And then you get a lot of other good things too. Any new services that I have, some goodies, any promotions or events that are going on as well. So yes, so today what we're going to be talking about are pineapples and greens. Yes, greens. So why are pineapples so good? Well, first of all, they remind me of being on a tropical island. And who doesn't think of pineapples in a tropical island, right? Think of pina coladas and getting caught in the rain, right? Okay, come on, I had to add that one in. All right, so pineapples are actually incredibly beneficial for so many different I'm not even saying facets of athletic performance, but it's also for health as well. So pineapple contains a little compound called bromelain, and bromelain is a very potent anti-inflammatory. That's usually the component that is responsible for that anti-inflammatory property. Now, it's also a protease. So what's a protease? A protease is a digestive enzyme that helps to digest protein. So that can really help to impact and further your muscle recovery, especially because when you're training so many hours, your body is breaking down those muscles and you need to be able to repair them and replenish them so that you're able to go into training the next day without feeling drained. With that in mind, pineapple also provides that quick sugar that helps to replete the glycogen levels as well. So adding in pineapple will give you that anti-inflammatory, as well as providing a little bit of those sugars to help to replete the glycogen. It's also very important when you're running long distances or you're out for a really long bike ride that you are getting in some of those simple sugars, and pineapple can actually be very beneficial. But interestingly enough, pineapple is very, very great for post-workout recovery. So why is this? This is going to sound counterproductive, but pineapple actually helps to produce immunomodulatory proteins that are beneficial for you. So yes, it does promote inflammation, but these inflammatory proteins, they go to certain sites to help to repair them. So those particular proteins that it does help your body to produce, it's actually helping with that muscle recovery. So you've got the antioxidants and you've also got that extra recovery component as well. Pineapples also have anti-cancer effects, anti-tumor, and as I said, potent antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. Pineapple is a very good source of vitamin C. Vitamin C is very important for immunity. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on that when we talk about the greens, but vitamin C, pineapples have about 151 milligrams of vitamin C, so that's about 151% of what vitamin C intake, your daily recommended intake is. Now, vitamin C is a potent antioxidant, which will significantly help you with recovery and decreasing any sort of oxygen species, or they're called reactive oxygen species, which can create oxidative stress, which can decrease performance, can increase fatigue and decrease recovery. So you really want to make sure that you're keeping those under wraps. Another good source, pineapple is also another great source of quercitin. So that's something that I talked about at the beginning of the month, was quercitin and why it's so important for athletic performance. In fact, I wanted to add in a little bit of a study that was done on quercetin, particularly in endurance athletes that were female athletes. So in those particular athletes that were supplemented 500 milligrams of quercetin, they increased their running time and decreased lactic acid levels. So that lactic acid buildup can really be what's more fatiguing and cause that muscle soreness and just that improper recovery. But quercetin has helped to really attenuate that, according to this study, which is really cool. And pineapple is a good source of quercetin. So pretty cool. Just going into a little bit more about quercetin, onions and capers are really good sources of quercetin too, but actually, capers would be really good for post-workout recovery, especially if you've been sweating a lot, because they're really high in sodium. Yes, so you're usually sweating out that sodium and you need to replete it. So capers might not be bad for post-workout, but we're sticking to pineapples and we're now moving on to the next one, greens. So you saw Popeye was always eating his spinach, and you're always seeing things about kale or kale, yeah, kale's the best. Well, these green leafy vegetables are extremely important because they are so life-giving. There's so many different nutrients that they have in them to really help with that athletic performance and muscle recovery. Most importantly, the one that they have, because they're green, they automatically have magnesium. So basically, why is it that when something's green, it has magnesium? Well, chlorophyll gives those particular plants that green pigment, and magnesium's right in the middle of that chlorophyll compound. So if you see anything green, there's going to be magnesium in it. Now, why is magnesium so important for us? Well, when we're under long bouts of stress, psychological and physical, especially the training that we're doing, it can deplete the body of magnesium and potassium, and that could increase stress, or excuse me, it could increase muscle cramping. It could actually increase a little bit of, can make you a little moody, make you a little bit more on edge, because magnesium is responsible for calming down the central nervous system. Now, when you calm down the central nervous system, that can also secondarily have other secondary effects, such as hormonal balance, as calming down the system also calms down those adrenals from overworking. And then that will also help with hormone production instead of cortisol production. So magnesium is going to be really, really important. Magnesium is also important for energy production as well as detoxification. I know I've talked about detox a lot. Detox is very important for clearing out debris in your body, and also to clear out those toxins and those reactive oxygen species too. So if you don't have proper detoxification pathways, or they're not working properly, then that could really significantly hinder athletic performance and recovery, and probably lead to more fatiguing over time. So very important that you're detoxifying properly. But greens are also a really good source of potassium. So potassium helps you also regulate heart rhythm as well as preventing cramping. So I just talked about that when we're under long bouts of stress, that it can deplete the body of potassium, because it's the most abundant intracellular ion, and that gets shut out when you're under bouts of stress. So very important. have a little bit of potassium in your greens. Another thing that greens are good for, calcium. Yes, there's calcium. This is plant-based calcium. So greens are an excellent source of plant-based calcium. Now, calcium is not only responsible for building strong and healthy bones, but it's also acting to calm you down. It's a calming, just like magnesium, it helps to calm down your central nervous system as well, and it can also prevent that muscle cramping. So it's really important that you do have that calcium. And I was talking earlier this month also about fatigue and electrolytes and how antioxidants, if you don't have enough antioxidants, it can lead to fatiguing early. Why is that? Because antioxidants play a role in those calcium channels that help with the muscle contractions. Yep. And that is why also calcium is very important, because it's important for that proper muscle function and can be very, very important. So when you're doing longer bouts of exercise, that you're not fatiguing too soon. Greens are also another good source of iron. So iron tends to be depleted in a lot of endurance and athletes. Why is that? Because your body is under stress. And anytime there's any source of low-grade inflammation, iron stores can go down. Now, iron can also go down because if there is any sort of gut issues and gut dysbiosis, what happens is that your iron goes down because the iron can feed those things in your gut. So if you suspect that there could be something going on with your gut, let's run a gut panel on you and try and clear everything up so that your gut's functioning properly and your iron's not dropping. It's really important that your iron doesn't drop because it's responsible for your energy pathways. It's responsible for holding on to oxygen and delivering that to your muscles and your organs. When that doesn't happen, you can get into hypoxic states where you're not thinking properly, you're fatiguing easier, for those of you who have had anemia, you know what I'm talking about. You are extremely lethargic, and that can make it really, really hard to get to practice. So adding in some of these greens, it could be in a green smoothie, it could be a salad, it could just be sauteed, really bump up those green leafy vegetables, and that can significantly impact your athletic performance, increase time to fatigue. Increase time to fatigue. I was trying to say that it's decreasing fatigue so that you're able to go longer. Sorry about that. You can also add it in soups as well. I mean, greens are the most versatile out of all of them. There's also broccoli, there's Brussels sprouts, there's arugula. Now I have written blog posts on both of these. I go into some of the different greens and some of their other components and properties. Oh my gosh, yes, they're also a really great source of B vitamins. I shouldn't have left that out, forgive me. So greens are an excellent source of B1, B2, B3, and B6. Now, B1, B2, B3 are incredibly important for the metabolism of carbohydrates and amino acids, particularly those branched chain amino acids, leucine, isoleucine, and valine. Leucine, that one's the one that's really responsible for that muscle growth and that muscle repair. So it's really going to be important that you get that B1, B2, and B3 to help drive the metabolism of that. It's also very important for energy pathways. So B1, B2, and B3 are actually needed on the electron transport chain in order to produce that energy. So if you're not getting enough of those B vitamins, then you can be a little bit more lethargic. And these greens are a good source of B6. And B6 is important for serotonin production. Serotonin makes you happy, but it also, that's melatonin. It helps with production of melatonin, which that helps you to sleep. But melatonin is also a potent anti-inflammatory as well, which I believe I've covered in one of my blog posts, that they have done a study on that melatonin, when it was decreased, it was actually affected athletic performance and affected energy. So B6 very important for that. And also B6 can be very important during the time when you're leading up to your period as well. When you're in your luteal phase, that's when you tend to hold on to a little bit more of that water, and B6 actually works on the kidney. There's dopamine receptors on the kidneys. Now we think of dopamine as a neurotransmitter that is responsible for focus, responsible for mood, is responsible for impulse, and sometimes we equate it with the negative addiction, but yeah, it is responsible for that. But what happens is that receptor on your kidneys basically is telling the kidney to either hold water or to let go of water. So adding in that B6 will actually help the kidneys to release the water, so you're not retaining as much. very fun fact. So incorporating these green leafy vegetables, especially in that week before you are getting your period, incorporating other sources of B6 such as bananas, sweet potatoes, avocados are really going to be beneficial. Plus the avocados are really great for magnesium. All right, so with that in mind, I am going to make a little mocktail for you. It is National Mocktail Day, and I have actually stopped drinking alcohol. I stopped drinking alcohol a little over 2 years ago. So now what I get the question is, what do you do when you go out? Mocktails, it's been one of my favorite things, and pineapples have been a staple in them. So today I'm going to show you a little mocktail that you can add into having a nice dinner or going out with friends. And we're going to be using some pineapple here. So I have this little device here. This is a little mini blender. We're going to blend up the pineapple. I also have some tart cherry juice here. Now, I was talking about before how tart cherry juice is very high in antioxidants, and particularly antioxidants that help to decrease inflammatory markers, particularly malandialdehyde, which is responsible for that joint pain. So you're not only getting a delicious flavor added in with the pineapple, but you're also getting those extra recovery properties as well. I like myself a little San Pellegrino. I like a little bubbliness. So we're going to put all this into some salsa. And we got some lime juice here. Now, one of my favorite flavor combinations is cherry lime. It's going to give it like a nice little tart taste. So if you think about it, adding all these together, I'm going for tart. So if you like tart, this mocktail is going to be for you. All right, so for this particular mocktail, now you only really need like a splash of pineapple juice and a splash of cherry juice. So here I have the actual pineapple. We're going to put it in the blender, and that's only going to be, this is only about a half of a cup. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to place a half of a cup in the blender, and you're going to make like a puree. Oops, I'm just going to leave that one out. Okay. All right. So that's a nice little puree. You're going to get some chunks. Now what you're going to do, lift that up and put this all in here. You can also infuse waters with this too. Actually, you know what? After a long workout, you can add some coconut water in here, and you can add some salt in here too. It'd be a nice little recovery mocktail, especially after those long bike rides. If you cycle in a group during the summertime, this could be a really nice little addition here. All right, so you can just pack it down. If need be, you can add a little extra liquid when you are blending everything. All right, so now I'm going to add the seltzer. Ah, I love that sound. Makes me happy. All right, we're going to add that in here. By the way, mason jars are the best. I always have them, my little mocktails, out of a mason jar. Okay. So we have here. All right, so now we're going to take some of the cherry juice. We're going to do a splash of cherry juice. Splash. All right. And then we're going to do a splash of lime. Depending on how tart you want it, have a little bit more lime. We are going to mix all this together. And then voila, you have a nice little cocktail for when you're out with friends or having a nice little dinner without having the alcohol or having the negative effects of the alcohol the next day. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And thank you so much for coming and joining me for this theme this month, the best foods for athletic performance and muscle recovery. Now, if this has really been beneficial for you, I do ask, please be sure to share my videos and to share any of the posts that I've done as well. If you have any questions for me on any of this, actually, I did ask the question, would you want me to continue this into April? We can make that the April theme as well. So if you want, please DM me and let me know if this is something that you'd like me to continue. If there are any other topics that you want me to talk about with sports nutrition, then please be sure to DM me. I would absolutely love anybody's feedback and answer any of the questions that you do have. All right, so with that in mind, pineapples and greens, some of the best foods that you can incorporate, especially the pineapple helps with that post-workout recovery with the beneficial inflammatory proteins, but also that antioxidant bromelain too to really help with that muscle repair. Then you've got the greens that are a good source of vitamin C, which I meant to say that vitamin C is also really important for joint health as it helps to produce collagen. So it's important that you're getting enough of that into your routine. Great source of magnesium to help calm down your central nervous system and also prevent cramping. That along with potassium and also calcium as well, and B vitamins for energy production. And then we made this nice little mocktail here. Splash of cranberry, or excuse me, splash of cherry, can be cranberry too. It would be a splash of pineapple juice, or you can actually blend up the pineapple yourself. A little splash of lime in some seltzer water, and you got yourself a mocktail. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. Again, my name is Drew Mulvey. I'm a certified dietitian nutritionist. I'm a board certified nutrition specialist. I am a precision nutrition level 1 coach, which is more holistic sports nutrition. I'm a certified lead therapist, which is a specific food sensitivity protocol based off of mediator release testing. It's about 92% accurate and specific for those particular food sensitivities that could be aggravating you. Really, really great for inflammatory issues, migraines, IBS, and particularly athletic performance as well. I am a candidate for the certificate in integrative and functional sports nutrition through the Center of Integrative Sports Nutrition. And personally, I work with overachieving athletic females to increase energy, stamina, and improve athletic performance through improving their gut, balancing their hormones, and really improving their relationship with food so that they see it as fuel and fun. So if that sounds like you and you really want to take your athletic performance to a new level and really create longevity in your sport and in your life as well, then come and see me. I would absolutely love to work with you. I've had some great testimonies from the athletes that I've worked with, and I know that I have some of them. Please be sure to check back into my Instagram to see some of those testimonies. But if that sounds like you, if you've been confused about food and you really want to use it properly so that you're maintaining your career and even accelerating each year, let's talk. I would absolutely love to speak with you. So if you could sign up for an icebreaker call, I'll get you right in my schedule. That link is going to be in my bio for those of you that are on Instagram. Those of you on Facebook, I will put it in the chat below. All right, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.